So I wanted to drop the knowledge about today's episode. I get asked this question pretty much for everybody that knows that I know martial arts. What style should I do? I could spend hours talking about this, damn. But instead, I thought I'd cover this video. We'll go to what style we should do right after this. And we're back to my channel. Okay guys, look. So when it comes to the answer, yes, I do know the answer. What style should you use? And before we get to that, there's something I want to talk about. It's 6 factors, okay? These 6 factors will determine who's going to be the winner of that fight on that day. So the person that's the best at power, speed, technique, stamina, the situation, I don't know, you're fighting in the nightclub and shit's dark, or there's a lot of weapons around, you're gonna grab something. That, and also the biggest factor to me, or one of the biggest factors, distance. How far you are from your opponent. So first off, I don't even want to talk about power, speed, and stamina, because you know that, whatever. I want to focus more on technique and distance. Distance is going to be the biggest thing. So for your technique or what style you should use, determined by your technique. Well, if you're not flexible, and then you're probably not going to do something heavy with kicks like capoeira, taekwondo, tang soo do. You're probably not going to do that shit if you're not flexible. So there goes that. Now I want to go over to distance. Basically, from here on out, I want you to measure everything by these couple areas. Your close distance, your mid-range, and your far range. Okay. All right, guys, pretty much, if you know me personally, you've noticed that I've studied every style out there, or not every style, but all the mainstream ones. Kung Fu, Capoeira, Muay Thai, MMA, whatever. I've pretty much studied it, been doing it for a long time. So I want to talk about the way that they train. Because I've actually gone to tournaments or gone to sparring sessions, like for example, sparring an MMA guy using MMA, sparring an MMA guy using traditional styles of Kung Fu or Karate. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And one of the biggest factors I want to go to, again, is going to be your distance. Ooh, gotta hurry up, the sun's setting. Okay, so look. What I want you to focus on for when you are picking your style or what style you should do when it comes to your distance is, let's think about, basically you're going to choose the style at whatever distance you want to fight at. If you're comfortable at fighting at close range, you're not going to do taekwondo or tang soo do or capoeira, because you can't throw kicks that close unless you're like a black belt or a master, whatever. So your boxing, if you're gonna come in swinging with your hooks or whatever, that's focused on close. It's gonna be like close to mid-range. Also Wing Chun, it's very close. So if you're doing your wooden dummy or whatever, it's a close distance type of martial arts. And you know what, let's actually go to a boxing clip. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about so you can see how close they are. Sometimes they even hang on the outside of the ring or on the edge of the ring. Alright, so I'm sure you looked at the boxing clip. Yeah, basically it's a very close style because unless you're somebody who lunges out, and that's what you're really not supposed to do, unless you got a game plan. Anyway, boxing is a very close to mid-range fighting style. And Wing Chun is also the same way. You know what, let's go to a Wing Chun clip so you can see what I'm talking about. So with that style, or with Wing Chun in general, yes, it's very close to mid-range. They probably have maybe, what, 1 or 2 techniques that are far with Wing Chun. You got your front push kick, and maybe a couple other things. But again, it's your distance. So you have to gauge when you're in that fight, or whenever you're sparring, what distance you want to be at. Alright guys, look, so I wanted to address Muay Thai, for example. Okay, Muay Thai is a martial arts that's really focused about mid-distance to close distance, okay? Those two. I mean, yeah, you got like 1 or 2 moves that are long distance. You got your teep, your front push kick. Besides that, all that shit is gonna be mid to close distance. Okay, so you're in close range, you're gonna do your elbows, your knees, whatever. You're in mid-range, then you're gonna do your boxing and your kicks. Not very too many of them are far. And just so you can see what I'm talking about, let's go over to some Muay Thai clips really quick. All right, now that we finished looking at that clip, I wanted to talk about long range. Now, long range is going to be the styles that are, well, that focused on that, long range. For example, Taekwondo, Tang Sudo, some styles of Kung Fu, Capoeira, a lot of them are gonna be kicks. It's either gonna be your kicks or the martial arts that are focused on lunging at your opponent. Just to give you an example, let's go over, well, actually, before we go to a Taekwondo clip that we're gonna go to, I wanna talk about the way that they train. So for example, if I'm going to go to fight for MMA, the way that they train is even mid to close. Now, when you're doing traditional styles of martial arts, which is gonna be your point fighting instead of your other rings, they practice on like skipping, so that way they can lunge at their opponent. Anyway, just so you can see what we're talking about, now we'll go to the clip. Now that you've seen that clip, you can see what I'm talking about. So, for example, you have to know what distance you, as a fighter or a martial artist, are comfortable in fighting. If you see somebody that's doing boxing and they're really good at it, you know that they're gonna wanna come in close. They're gonna wanna come in that pocket. So it's your job, let's say that you do Taekwondo or you're good at kicks, to stay at a distance away from them that you can get those kicks in. Because if you come in close to them, you're out of your element, you're out of your game. So, to be honest with you, it depends on you as the practitioner and the distance that you're comfortable at being at. And that's what style of martial arts that you're gonna decide to pick. So, there's no overall style of martial arts that's better than the other. That's like saying a burger's better than tacos. The hell? Depends on who's cooking them tacos. Anyway, now that you guys know that how I feel, hit me up in the comments below so you can see what we got going on. I'll answer some of your questions. Also, I wanted to say thank you for watching Prototype my channel. I wanted to say before we go, thanks for watching, and be the newest and best model of yourself. Be a prototype. All right, guys. See you later.
You